Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Roll the intro. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand spanking new episode.
And you brought the spanking
I
back.
I only do it for Bitcade. They're the only
I
saucy
know.
ones here. We are back. It is 2022. It is we took a little bit of a hiatus on Bitcade just because we've been doing some other things, but we're back, and it is that time of the season to go through and do our game awards and stuff like that. But before we do that, we actually thank God we didn't record this last week because a craziest thing happened at the week of recording this is and we will be talking about, so our topics for this episode, Bitcade episode 46, in topic number 1 we will be talking about Microsoft purchasing Activision. This is a currently right now not like hasn't gone through yet, but it is very far in the process of being actually happening. In the topic after that, it will be the Game Awards 2021. We'll talk about the results from all of that like we do in the past. And then we will do our 5th annual PT Awards. And we will give out some awards and stuff like that from our own voting and whatnot. This is going to be an absolutely insane first topic. Who would have thought that the year of our Lord, 2022, that Xbox Game Studios would be purchasing Activision Blizzard. Ashton, what the heck is happening?
Well, it's just another big old fucking dick slap to the gaming industry by Phil Spencer. Just kind of waving his big old dick around. Bought up another massive company, Activision Blizzard. They have so much. It cost them 68.7 billion. Actually, it originally, if anybody's into the memes on Reddit, initially was 70 billion, but the CEO of Activision wanted to bring it down to 69. But we're at about $95 a share. Was basically the purchase price for that.
Wow.
With nearly 10,000 employees.
That's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Yeah. So I actually took a look here from this article from The Verge, saying that in 2018, let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to 2018. We all remember 2018, the year Xbox was not doing too hot. Xbox made the first steps into acquiring all of these studios. They in addition to their already pretty decent lineup of like 343 and all these other companies that they already had, they purchased Compulsion Games, which their latest game was We Happy Few, so we haven't seen them in a while. Ninja Theory, who is now making Hellblade series. We also saw that RPG-centric In Exile, who developed Wasteland 3. Obsidian, who made The Outer Worlds, which we gave Game of the Year to back then.
Hell yeah.
Playground Games developer Forza Horizon, because at the time, Turn 10 was owned by Microsoft, but Playground was just helping them make the Horizon series, so it just felt fitting that they purchased them. And then Undead Labs was the last addition to that, with who creates State of Decay. So then we got in 2019, Double Fine gets purchased, who created Psychonauts, who also came out with a game this year, Psychonauts 2. Then last year in 2021 was what we thought was the just absolutely absurd thing until this purchase, but Microsoft acquired ZeniMax Media / Bethesda Softworks, which for $7.5 billion, which allowed them to get mobile developer AlphaDog Games, French-based Dishonored and Deathloop developer Arcane Studios, Starfield, Fallout, and the Elder Scrolls developer Bethesda Game Studios, Wolfenstein series developer Machine Games, id Software, the celebrated creators of Doom and Quake, Tango Gameworks, the Japanese developer of horror series The Evil Within and the upcoming game Ghostwire Tokyo, Roundhouse Studios, formerly known as Human Head Studios, developer of 2006's Prey, and ZeniMax Online Studios, which oversees MMO The Elder Scrolls Online. So, with that said, now we're here. Now we're in January of 2022, and it is now. If this goes through, if the deal goes through, Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard King will add 9 new studios, bringing the total number of developers to 32 gaming studios. The biggest studios in the deal are Call of Duty developer Treyarch Games and Infinity Ward, as well as Overwatch, Diablo, and World of Warcraft developer Blizzard Entertainment. Activision's previous purchases and mergers will grant Microsoft ownership of former PlayStation exclusives Spyro the Dragon and Crash Bandicoot, as well as the Tony Hawk series. The deal also incorporates a number of smaller studios that work as co-developers or support for Activision Blizzard's bigger games, including Beanox, Toys for Bob, High Moon Studios, Sledgehammer Games, and the embattled Raven Software, whose employees are entering their 5th week of striking, which is interesting. But Microsoft will also gain a major player in the mobile gaming scene with Candy Crush creator King. That's the whole thing. That if this all goes through, they will own all of those things.
But you're forgetting about Major League Gaming.
Yeah, so
MLG, they will now own.
Yeah, so because of what I've heard from some other things is I guess Activision also owns a lot of stake in MLG. They also own a lot of stake in, I believe they bought out the IGN professional league circuit that they were doing. So now Microsoft will own that. They will own the things that all Activision touched and stuff like that, because Activision Blizzard bought the IGN Pro League, whatever they were doing. So yeah, it's I don't know. What do you think? When did you find this out? Like, did you find out when I sent it to you, or did you find out before I did?
I found out like 2 hours before you did.
Oh, okay. What was your reaction when you woke up that morning, or when you were getting off work, I guess?
I was actually like at work, and I was just like, bye. Yay, Activision. I've had a dislike of their practices and their management, or mismanagement, I should say, for a number of years. So thoroughly excited. I think currently, it hasn't always been this way, but currently, Microsoft is, I don't know, gotta be, honestly, in my personal opinion, the best place to be a dev right now if you're going to be under a publisher. They got the money. They allow a lot more creative freedom than they did previous to Phil Spencer. It only gets better every single year at Microsoft since the end of the last generation, when they started making all these moves. It's just everything I feel will be enhanced. I honestly believe that. Or Activision, to me, has seemed more like a lot more greedy, I guess. They're not really, from what I've seen, they haven't been really good with the community. Their players, the people that are actually, were keeping them in business. So I'm excited to see what happens next. I mean, who knows? could end up losing out on some games. Obviously, some things can fall through the cracks with any sort of like buyout, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm pretty hopeful. I'm feeling, if some of these other rumors that are going around about Call of Duty, I'm thinking we'll have a better Call of Duty experience finally. So I'm good for more innovation and less reskinning, because that's what Activision's been really good at, is reskins for the past decade almost. So
Yeah, and it. I'm like going over in my mind of like all the times I've seen the Activision logo beforehand and like what that means, like all the games that they would actually own. Things that they didn't even list: Guitar Hero, owned by Activision. They would own that game now. They'd own that franchise.
mhm.
And it's like I don't think a lot of people understand how big Activision really is. I mean,
Oh, they're
they
huge.
outbought Atari. So that means all of the Atari stuff is now Microsoft's. If they buy this, the Atari brand and the Atari name will then go to Microsoft because they own that. So it's and not a lot of people are talking about that either. The fact that Microsoft, if they're able to pull this off, and I even continue reading into the article here from The Verge, which was very well written here. This isn't expected even to possibly close until next year.
Yeah.
So, and because that's just how mergers do it, it's a lot of filing and a lot of paperwork and whatnot. So if it actually goes through, if all these other companies allow this to happen and judges and stuff allow this to go through, and this merger goes, then Microsoft would have literally the last American gaming studio, major big head, other than EA. But even then, EA, I mean, Electronic Arts is kind of like, they're still more global, whereas Activision
Yeah.
still kind of stays a little close to being an American
Closer to
studio.
home. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is definitely a huge deal if this happens. And a lot of people have been talking about like, okay, well, what does that have to do with PlayStation? What about Nintendo? What does it go? I think if this had happened after before the Bethesda thing, I think we would have had a lot more questions. But the way that Microsoft has handled Bethesda in I mean, we still don't really know where their lines are going to go, but they have stated and they have shown that those games still exist. Like, you can still buy Skyrim on your PlayStation.
Mhm.
Like, you can still do that. And to me, I think they're gonna play it the same way. They're gonna pick and choose which games are just gonna be, you know what? The next Crash Bandicoot is exclusive to Xbox. Like, we are making it an exclusive Xbox game for the Xbox family. And a Crash Bandicoot game for the Xbox family, and Spyro, like that's another 3D platformer, and so like where this kind of goes is Microsoft has now lined themselves up having these franchises that everybody always criticized Microsoft of not having the mascots. Like, where's the characters that everyone just knows
Or
and
the
loves?
icons.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
you guys what? You got Master Chief and you got Marcus Phoenix? Like, what is that? You're now they have more icons. They just went out and bought all the icons. So I was even seeing somebody had created this like meme picture of a if they did a fighting game and it had all of the
Dude.
like characters and whatnot, like essentially a PlayStation All Stars for Microsoft. Now they can actually do that. There's like 32 people on there. They even put the like Microsoft Flight Simulator plane in there just to be. So, but it was just funny because it's like, yeah, now they have those characters. You got Fable in there now. You have like from their
Yeah.
own studios and that is coming soon and these story based companies and now your online multiplayer because a lot of people kept talking about okay, you're buying all these story based companies, what are you going to do eventually? You're going to run into a hole where you don't have any multiplayer. They just bought the multiplayer franchises. Like, those are the franchise. Overwatch is still being
It's still
played.
really good.
Yeah, and it's
And
like
they're almost done making the second one. The next I've been told by somebody at work that the next tournament is going to be held on a version of Overwatch 2.
Interesting.
So
Yeah, and so
that'll
like
be interesting.
this is definitely I don't think there as a if you're a PlayStation fan, you have to come into this going this was a bad thing that happened to you Monday morning or Tuesday morning.
But it shouldn't be.
And yeah, I don't think there's really much for people to worry about if that is your console that you choose because and we kind of talked about this off stream before we even did this. Call of Duty is going to continue to be multi-platform. There's no reason for them to take that
Yeah,
off.
that would be cutting literally their base in half.
Yeah, I think the only thing you'll see with Call of Duty is we are eventually going to get to a point where they will just not make one. They're just going to take a year off and reassess. I think what's going to happen, my prediction of this, is Modern Warfare is going to come out this year. We got Modern Warfare 2 coming, is the one that's supposedly coming this year. It's more or less officially announced. I think Treyarch is going to come out with their game, and then I think we're going to get our year off. So, and I think Sledgehammer will then continue it the following year after. And it will be a trying to figure out where Call of Duty is going to go. Because right now, Modern Warfare is literally running on a name that you only put towards a game that came out in 2004. Like the and then you got or probably 2006. And then you got Black Ops, which is just continued the same thing. It's like everyone just knows what Black Ops is. They don't even need to know that it's made by Treyarch. You just know it's Black Ops. So whereas Sledgehammer has no idea what the hell they're doing in making their line of games, and it just keeps getting badly received. I've heard that actually the campaign was not too bad for Vanguard, but I've not played it personally, so I can't say either or.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about it. I'm Call of Duty'd out, so
You're dutied out.
bother. I'm dutied out.
You got no more duty. No more
Yeah.
duty.
Duty.
But then you also got World of Warcraft. You got Diablo. You have the Blizzard games that are falling into this. StarCraft is even in there. It's like now Microsoft is going to own this. I don't know. I think if anything, this will be good for that company. I don't think there will be much changes. There might be maybe some port in the future of where like we might see StarCraft for console. I wouldn't write that off. I think that's going to be the easiest one to do. I know that game is all about management and stuff, but hey, they did it with Halo Wars. I don't think it's going to be the StarCraft and StarCraft 2 that we've gotten that are masterpieces in themselves. I think it's going to be some sort of console version of StarCraft. We never thought Diablo would make it, and hey, look, there it is. It's on console now. So, but I think something like that would come to Xbox exclusively. They would just be like, hey, if you want to play StarCraft on console, the only way to play it is strictly on here. Or Diablo 4, like hell. No pun intended. I think that Diablo 4 could easily, if this goes through, be an exclusive on console for Xbox, where they don't release something like that. But Call of Duty and Overwatch, I think those games will definitely continue to be on multi-platform. But
Yeah, I think that would be the best way to go about it, honestly. And we heard from like our buddy Tyler that you wouldn't be surprised that for something like Call of Duty or something else that might be has always been like multi-platform, they might just start being timed exclusives for like content-wise, and I'm really hoping that's not the case. Even though I mainly play on Xbox, I'd really hope that the way they go about things is just instead of separating the two platforms between PlayStation and Xbox, that they just all the content is gonna be there minus like you're gonna have a couple extra perks for being on Xbox, similar to like how in Halo Infinite. And if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you have a weekly cosmetic, or not weekly cosmetic, a monthly cosmetic that you get every month just for having Game Pass Ultimate. Like, I hope it's to that effect. Like, I don't want game modes locked behind, exclusive game modes. That to me is just dumb. I'm really hoping they go about this the right way. I have faith that they will, because timed exclusive stuff just doesn't work. It just doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, there was like a whole game mode that wasn't even in the Xbox version. It was strictly just for PlayStation. Like they made a game mode
Yeah,
that you could not play. Eventually, did come to Xbox, but yeah, there was some stuff like that.
I just think that's dumb.
Yeah.
It's a waste. You're splitting your player base, especially now that everything's cross-platform. I mean, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know. So it's even like, the free content updates or like DLC or whatever. It should all be available to everybody at the same time. There's no reason to do anything else. Like, just, allow everybody to fucking play together. That's what Xbox has kind of been more about the past few years. They want everybody to be able to play together. They had to walk, you know, over to Sony multiple occasions to see if they would play along and do some crossplay, and they were only finally convinced, like a couple years back, to actually start doing that. Because they do not play ball, just like Nintendo doesn't play ball. It's a very Japanese thing because it's a loyalty thing. Further, it's a cultural thing.
Yeah, and I think where it comes down to of what this whole thing is, what will the other two do? Like this,
How do you mean?
like so Nintendo doesn't really have too much of an Activision presence on that console, or Blizzard really, other than Overwatch like came to the console just a little while ago. Um, Whereas Sony has a huge history with Activision, not really Blizzard, but with Activision. Um, like we have mentioned before, Spyro and Crash are two icons that a lot of people associated just to PlayStation. And it wasn't until the newest Crash Bandicoot that we got for the next for Xbox. So it's like, those two icons now being, I mean, hell, Naughty Dog made Crash Bandicoot, and they don't own it anymore because Naughty Dog, who are creators of Last of Us, for people that don't know, they no longer get to make that game anymore. Like, that property is just gone. And what's even funnier is in Uncharted, which Naughty Dog also made, they make a reference to Crash Bandicoot, and Nathan Drake plays Crash Bandicoot. So, like, it's just funny how, I mean, funny, not just funny, haha, more of just that character will no longer be associated with the PlayStation brand. So the question is now, what is Sony going to do? Like, I have heard nothing. It is now, you know, it's January 20th of when we're recording this. So, and this happened on Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember. And
It was Tuesday.
it was Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, because that would have been everyone coming back from the weekend and whatnot. So, and they've said nothing. No one has said anything. So I don't know what PlayStation will do. I don't know if they have something in their sights right now. I know a lot of people have talked about EA being up for grabs. I'm shocked that I would have been less shocked that I would have woke up to Microsoft bought EA. I would have been like, all right, yeah, I see that. That fits. They have had a relationship. They've had relationships in the past. They've never lost that. EA and Microsoft are always buddy. If you have Game Pass, you get EA Play for free. Okay, that makes sense. I get it. This now adds to what Game Pass was. Game Pass now, you're an idiot for not having it. Like, if this happens, that means Xbox's app, Windows, could easily just incorporate what Activision Blizzard's launcher is, and just now Call of Duty, Overwatch, World of Warcraft, all that stuff is now just in your Xbox hub, and now you just access it through there. Like, it's just crazy.
Quick question on that.
Yeah.
Do you think with this acquisition, since they will be there's going to be so many first-party games now, Because I mean, technically, Call of Duty will now be a first-party game,
Yes.
and all of the first-party games right now get put on Game Pass day one.
As of right now, yes,
So,
that is the thing.
so here's something for us to think about. A, are they gonna, I don't know, maybe up the price of Game Pass Ultimate, or are they gonna start picking and choosing what's gonna be on there? So only the iconic first-party titles, like that have actual icons, like franchises, not like Call of Duty, because I mean, there's not like a set
I
specific guy
I
for Call of
think
Duty that would be considered the icon.
yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, some of them are kind of trying to push forward of like main characters and stuff like that. But yes, there's no set main cast of people in those lines. I think right now, what Microsoft has set up Game Pass to be is yes, the day ones are, but that's only up until the end of this year of 2022. They said nothing about anything beyond this, but right now it's still day ones. Those are what's going to happen. I think after this year, for them financially, because they've already got us all in. Like I think they've got the first and the second and the third group of people that would have bought into this. I think the first is the diehard Xbox fans. The second group of people is the console fans. The third group of people was to get the PC fans. And now the fourth group of people is to get the people from PlayStation onto Game Pass. And how do you do that? Well, you just bought their biggest brand that they have over there right now.
Put Call of Duty on Game Pass.
Yeah, if you put Call of Duty on Game Pass, it would be insane. Um, I think
Man,
them
but
doing
people
that,
are gonna buy it regardless.
Yeah.
It would be quite the power move.
it would be the only. There would be no reason to not have Game Pass, no matter what. As a gamer, there's no reason to not have it, because then you get cloud gaming, then you get PC, then you get console. If you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is a mouthful to say, you get 3 different ways to play that game, like your game, and that you pick up saves. It's all cloud save. So,
Yep.
what I think after this year is, I think they will pick a year time frame. So whether that be like after 2 years, the game, if it's our game, the game will come to Game Pass for free.
Ooh, God, 2 years?
I could see that. Maybe a year. It has to.
Two?
It has
I
to
would
go
say-
through a year.
I'd say more a year.
Okay,
probably.
then we'll say a year. But I think they'll put a timestamp on it, and it's like, okay, after the game has been out, or maybe just like how a movie is. Like when you go see a movie in theaters, you pay the $20 to go see the movie, or you can wait for it to be at home after 6 months, and then you can just watch it for $20 unlimited amount of times. And they could do it that way. They could literally change the game on gaming, where they just make it okay. If you want it day one, you can pay the $60 right now and own Halo, or you can wait 6 months and it will come to Game Pass. I could see that happening.
I can see that happening. I hope that's not reality, though.
In order for
I
it,
like what I got.
now let me ask you this question: would you take that option? So 6 months of waiting. So next Halo game, Halo Infinite 2, is coming out. It's $60. You can buy it right now, or in 6 months you get it for free on Game Pass. Or second option, you get it day one, but Game Pass goes to $20 a month.
I'll take the $20 a month. Easy. I would, in a heartbeat.
So from
buy back
$16 to $20, you'd be okay with it.
It's 15, isn't it?
It's after tax. It goes about 16 and a couple change.
Well, whatever.
Okay. So you would go 20. So what if they go $25 a month? You get it day one.
I would be reluctant, but I would do it.
Interesting. $30 a month.
30 is really pushing it. You better be giving me a lot.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, DLC and all that stuff's free. I mean, it is right now, but I mean, for the most part, depending on the game.
Depends on the game.
Yeah. But $30, they give you all the DLC, and you get it day one. You still go for it?
I would definitely consider it.
Okay, all right. So you wouldn't go any farther than 30.
I would no.
Okay.
No fucking way.
Yeah, because I mean the game's
Absolutely
60,
not.
so it's like
What the hell am I
yeah,
doing?
yeah. At that point, I guess at that point you could argue the fact that you're still not paying the full amount of a game. So you'd pay $30 to have unlimited games, or you could pay $60 to have one game. Is kind of the argument there, but still, like right now it's 16 something, to have Game Pass Ultimate. So yeah, I think that right now it's. But $20 you'd be okay if they actually price increased it and kept the day one
Oh,
launches.
yeah, I wouldn't be bothered by that at all. $20? Yeah.
And
Okay.
and you'd get the brand new Call of Duty games. You would get Overwatch 2 day one. You'd get
Easy.
all the Bethesda day one games. You would get that's still pretty good.
I mean, honestly, even with what we get right now, I would say it'd still be worth $20 right now, as it is.
But they'd have to keep
Even
doing the
without
day
that
one
extra
launches though.
They would have to keep doing the day one launches. Everything the way it is currently.
Yeah.
I would say I would easily pay $20.
Okay.
I wouldn't bat an eye.
Plus, you get all the
Because-
benefits too that Game Pass will just give you for free.
Yes, you get your Game Pass perks.
Yeah.
They refresh every month.
Yeah, I got
I've
YouTube
gotten,
Premium
like,
for 3 months because
you
of
get
them.
YouTube Premium. You get Spotify. You get Discord Nitro. You get Disney Plus is on there.
Uh-huh.
I get a monthly cosmetic for Halo Infinite. There's other cosmetics you get for being only for being on Game Pass for other games as well. Like, there's tons of benefit. You got to look at all the benefits that come with it. I don't count being able to play online as a benefit because bandwidth isn't costing them that much in the grand scheme of things. Steam doesn't fucking charge you for playing online or using Steam. They want you to go there, so you don't have to pay to play online. You just pay for the game.
Mhm.
That's how it should be. Paying for Xbox Live, that was pretty scammy, in my opinion.
It was a new technology and stuff like that. So you had the service.
It wasn't new technology.
Well,
dude.
the new service of what it was, console gaming launching with the online service, that was pretty new.
Consoles are just tinier computers. Man.
Yeah, but it was my thing with Xbox Live is like the way that they had that whole thing going, and you were paying for your security for that shit too. There's people in charge over there that saved us a lot more times than they did with the old Sony ponies over there. So I'm okay with the fact I've paid for Xbox Live for 11 years. So, but 11 plus years because that's what my new accounts or my current account says 11, but I know I've been on there for probably 15 years. So I don't know. This is absolutely crazy if this goes through. Wow. Literally.
Yeah. I would not be super upset if they bumped up my Game Pass to $25 and they kept things the way they were going.
Mm-hmm.
If they kept things the way they're going. And that would even be with the exception, let's say Call of Duty you don't get free on Game Pass, I would understand. I would understand because from a business standpoint, people are going to fucking buy it anyway. You know? Why?
I mean, they could do the same thing they did with Halo. If you buy, we will give you guys a free cosmetic. I mean, that's what PlayStation does. PlayStation gives you a free little thing every month with Call of Duty. Well, when Cold War was out, they're giving you free skins. So, I wouldn't put it past them. Any final words on this one?
I'm really curious to see what happens. It's nerve-wracking for kind of both sides.
Yeah.
In multiple different ways. So, hoping everything stays good for people who game on PlayStation. I'm hoping everything stays good for our Game Pass.
Yeah, I wanted to pull this up here of this purchase thing, but my Instagram is not cooperating with me because my phone sucks. But I think when I checked this purchase, including Disney's purchases, this would put them, I think, either in third or fourth place after all the purchases that have happened so far. So that's going to be crazy.
Oh.
All right. We're moving on.
I don't want to
I
sluggish
can't
all the
stand
fucking
it when it doesn't have the sprinting thing. And when what
Yeah.
was it, Reach, where they gave it like the
It was an ability.
yeah, it was an
Yeah.
ability. I hated that. Did not like that
Yeah.
at all.
You can't sprint indefinitely. Well,
Mm.
still in the game you can't sprint indefinitely, but it feels more like impactful that you could do it as you please, and not I gotta wait for
Yeah,
this to charge up.
I think that's
But-
definitely more